Good morning, Crafty Friends. Sparkle here. So this is part two of my collaboration for the design team for the Fall Friends kit from with Rach and Bellacrafts and Journals in Time. So Rose and Rachel have put these two kits together. I'll leave the link below, and for the month of September, they're 30% off. And like I said, this is part two. It's going to be more of a flip through kind of informative piece to show you what I did and some hints. So, if you recall, I am doing a tall journal, and you can see that I decided to stitch around my pages, and I just added like a page from an Edith Holden page because it's got the flowers and things in it. Um, I added some tabs, some ruffle tabs. I'll show you them in a minute. This will be a belly band when I'm done. We're going to do a 5-hole pamphlet stitch to hold it together. There's my signature coffee filter and a music sheet. I wanted a tab, and I'll show you what that is and what that's for. So I haven't decorated my pages per se. I've just stitched them and added some tabs. Okay? And what I did was, to get these tabs, in one of the kits, I believe it was Journals in Time, there were some longer strips. So I just made ruffles on the sewing machine. And I always try to leave a blank area here so that I have a base to put it down. This one, these I sewed on. This one was sewed on. And this one was sewed on. So this one I think I'll just glue on. So yeah, we'll just put some glue back here on one side. Oops, I forgot my tip was off my glue. Um, you could take your cutter if you didn't like or you didn't feel it was straight. You can straighten it out with your scissors. I'm going to piece of paper under here. Just ink this. It's just a different texture. Okay, so I just wanted that texture there, and I think I'll just snip the corners. They don't have to be pointy so much. And if you think something needs to be glued down, you can glue it down. But that should hold okay. So there are some tabs here now. And the only thing is to remember with your tabs is if you're using the paper bag and not making an actual cover, that you want to make sure it's the width of the bag. Okay? So you can see I made a tab here. We didn't glue that one on yet because that's going to be our pull tab to get our book out of the bag. Okay? So that I added. And then this is going to go up here when it's all done. Okay? So just remember, whatever you're adding into the width of your book, it has to fit inside here. And having said that as well, when you're cutting your elements for inside, when you're printing them, you have to think of little outside the box. For instance, these, I lost some of them. There's cards. Oops, I gotta be careful with my copy. Okay, these postcards, they were over here. Okay, I printed 2 pages of the kit and made them 5 by 7, because if you print this traditional size, they're not going to fit in here, okay? So all these little pockets and things, I printed them down at 5 by 7 because then they'll fit in here. So when I glue that down and I make a pocket, my elements will fit in here because the page is a little less than 4 inches on these, okay? So just keep that in mind when you're printing. So you get all your pages together. You start cutting out your elements that you're going to use. I didn't want to cut till I showed you that. So cue 5 by 7 and they'll fit nicely. Okay. If I had printed this, for instance, this here envelope full size like this, it would fit on the cover, but it would not fit in the book because it's too wide. Okay. So you have to print them smaller. So just, I don't know, just wanted to let you know that. So I have everything that I think I want in my book as far as pages. I did my stitching. So any stitching, you want to do that now. I'm going to cut out elements, ink up, and make some things to put inside. But before I do that, okay, I showed you how to make a ruffle and put it on. I'm trying to just use the elements that are in the kit pretty much, okay? So I didn't add laces and things like that. You could. But, okay, so this was another one of those ruffles I made. And it was a wider one. I just folded it in half. And this is the center page. And it's the center. It's got the flip here and the flip here. So I'm going to put it on the back of the flip. And I'm going to glue it, and then I'm going to staple it because I really want this to stick, okay? So I'm going to put some glue on the bottom here and on the top here. Whoa. That's just a way to reinforce. Whoops. Whoa. Oh dear, I had way too much glue on there, didn't I? It's okay. It'll be fine. It'll dry. So that when that's in here, and that's in there later after it dries, you know, you'll have a way to get your album out. And it'll be nice and reinforced in there. Okay, so then I'm going to just take a stapler and just staple it. So it's reinforced, and that's the centerpiece. So we have our cover, our front piece, and then we have a Edith Holden page, our little bunny rabbit. He's so cute. And these are what we're going to fill with tags and things later, pockets. This will be a belly band. I can take this off for now because we're going to want to sew. This is just a piece of ledger paper. Here's your center. You put a coffee filter and a music sheet in there. And here's another tab, another page. Yeah, so they have a lot of potential. I didn't want to make it so big. All right, we're going to do our pamphlet stitch. So we want to make sure our pages are where we want them. Okay. If you have a smaller page, you got to make sure you get it in the center as best you can. Got our coffee filter, and we've got our little music paper. Make sure everything's going the right way. Now I don't usually use the clips because things get caught in them, so I use these hair bobby pins. Now I know my book isn't straight, so where's okay. Okay, so you want to make sure as best you can that everything is where you want it. That your pages are going the right way. Okay, I'm going to say it looks good. Now, I made a template. You don't have to, but this is as long as my book. And I just took a piece of scrap paper, folded it in half, folded it in half again, folded the bottom up, folded the top down, folded these two pieces down. Then I took my pokey tool and I poked the holes in the seams here. So that's 5. We're doing 5 holes because this is so long. Then I put it in there. And for argument's sake, I'm just going to put a paper clip here because I don't want to move those other ones. And then just make sure that everything looks secure enough. Okay? Then I just take this and I poke through. You could put a book under there. I'm not because this is not that thick. One, two, three, four, 5. Okay? Then you could take this out. Okay, so we have our 5 holes. I have my thread. I'm going to go down the center hole and keep a small tail. Then I'm going to come up the next hole. Then I'm going to go down the top hole. Well, this is how I do it. There might be a different way. And now I'm going to come back up this hole. Now what you want to be careful is you don't split your thread, and Without those clips, my yarn isn't, or my thread isn't getting caught. Okay, so we got that. Now we're going to skip the center hole and we're going to go down this hole. So we went down, up, up, down, down here. And now we're going to come up the last hole. Which, for some reason, was hiding on me. Okay, I'm going to go down the hole next to it. You can take these clips off here. All right, so it looks good. Now we're going to come up that middle hole again. And go on the other side of the string. Okay, so then what we have is a nice line back here. A nice line in here. And we can just tie this off. 1, 2, and clip this. Take this off. Take this off. Then, just I go in and I fold it because you want to make sure your pages are nice and crisp in there. So there you have it. 5 pamphlet stitch. You have your tab up there, and it can go in your bag. The tab will stick out because we put a thumbnail there. We can put our beautiful on here. And here's a B for beautiful. It's for my last name, but it could be book in a bag as well. So that's where we're at. Okay. On the final video, I'll come back with everything cut out, and we can do some decorating. Okay. And we'll add some belly bands and things like that, and add some things in our pockets. So I think it's looking great. I didn't know what I was going to be doing with it when I started this yesterday, so I'm pleased with it. I'm glad I did decide to stitch it. I'm practicing my stitches. This is black with gold bobbin, so I like the contrast. And and I like the tabs, the ruffle tabs made out of the paper from the kit. And I think it's shaping up nicely. So I hope you enjoyed part 2, and looking forward to seeing you for part 3. Bye now.